This Chinese movie has been crushing every record and absolutely dominating the box office. And it hasn't even been out for a month. So, I've been seeing this movie called Ne Zha 2 pop up on my timeline a lot recently, and every time it does, it's always about how this film is beating box office record after box office record. But I haven't really seen anyone on YouTube talk about Ne Zha 2, so I went and did my own research. My goal was to answer the question I and a lot of other folks probably have. How can a Chinese movie not many people outside the nation have heard of absolutely crush Western cinema? So let's analyze Ne Zha 2, and by extension, the rise of Chinese animation as a whole. Because it really is an insane story. I am honored that you are choosing this video as background noise, while you're probably working on some really cool and important thing. One which only the most handsome of people would be tasked with and be able to complete. So, thanks for clicking on it, and with that, let's dive into the story of Ne Zha 2's success.
Why be a king when you can be a god?
Since its release in China on January 29th, 2025, Ne Zha 2 has already grossed over $1.8 billion as of the making of this video, making it the highest grossing animated feature of all time. Well, that's just insane. Yes, that's right. This animated movie hasn't even been out for a month, and it's already having such a gigantic impact on the whole movie landscape. And not only that, Ne Zha 2 has yet to be released globally on a wide scale. All the milestones this film has reached up until now are almost exclusively from Chinese moviegoers alone. Seems like every time I open Twitter, this movie has surpassed another milestone. And it doesn't seem as though the dominant triumph this animated sequel is having over the film industry will slow down anytime soon. As of right now, Ne Zha 2 is well on its way to surpassing the $2 billion milestone, and I'm convinced that this film will reach that goal sooner rather than later. However, the success story of the Ne Zha franchise didn't happen overnight. The first film debuted back in 2019 and was considered extremely successful as well. It grossed over $742 million and is China's 5th highest grossing film of all time. But how did it manage to reach such heights, you may be asking? Well, the first film was praised for having breathtaking animation, deep emotional themes, and compelling storytelling. According to Wikipedia, quote, "And despite being the debut feature of its director and animation studio, and having no widely known actors in the voice cast, the film gained critical acclaim, and has been one of the biggest commercial successes in Chinese cinema." This success sparked inevitable discussions about a sequel, which would finally release in early 2025, with the release of Ne Zha 2. The sequel continues the story of Ne Zha, and it truly delivers. New challenges for the characters to overcome, mythological conflicts, and even greater animation. All of these factors combine to take the franchise into new heights. For example, Ne Zha 2 currently stands at an 8.3 IMDb rating, meaning it's actually pretty good. Within just 8 days of its release, Ne Zha 2 became China's highest grossing film of all time. That's just unbelievable. And Ne Zha 2's success story shows no signs of stopping anytime soon, as the movie is now beginning to roll out worldwide. Early reports indicate strong demand overseas as well, with sold-out screenings in major US cities and high pre-sales in Europe and Southeast Asia. It seems like the people working on this film really know what counts, as the director of the movie, Yang Yu, also known as Yao Ji, has emphasized the importance of storytelling in global success in the past. According to him, Chinese films must resonate with audiences beyond their cultural origins. And if people are saying that Ne Zha 2 embraces themes every person can relate to, it is likely to strike a chord with international viewers as well. Something Disney, for example, has infamously struggled with in the last couple of years. The franchise's deep roots in Chinese mythology, while also being able to tell a compelling story every viewer can relate to, is a crazy feat to accomplish. If Ne Zha 2 is able to reach significant financial achievements beyond its home market, this will surely represent a new era for Chinese animation. It would show that China's domestic animation industry can not only compete with Hollywood giants like Disney and Pixar, but even surpass them. And also set new global standards while at it. I mean, Ne Zha 2 has already proven that it can do just that, surpassing even Inside Out and becoming the highest grossing animated movie of all time. a title Disney has held for over 80 years. Okay, but what is this movie actually about? Well, in short, Ne Zha is about a rebellious little guy who is born with incredible powers. And although Faith may have had other plans for him, he defies what has been chosen for him and forges his own path throughout the course of the film. The story is loosely based on Asian mythology. More specifically, the 16th century novel Investiture of the Gods, which blends history, mythology, and fantasy into a fictional retelling of the overthrow of King Zhao, who is corrupted by power and cruelty. The gods play an active role in the conflict as well, as various deities and immortals are either aligned with the Shang or Zhao forces and occasionally intervene to aid or punish key figures. Many mortals are also elevated to divine status after their heroic deeds, and the movie Ne Zha is set in this world, although it does not follow the novel's narrative directly, but rather chooses to loosely adapt certain plot points to tell its story. In the sequel, Ne Zha 2, Ne Zha faces a new and even greater challenge. After proving himself in the first film, he now struggles with his growing powers and the responsibility that comes with them. When an ancient evil reawakens, threatening to destroy both the mortal and celestial realms, Ne Zha must embark on a journey to uncover his true destiny. Along the way, he reunites with some familiar characters, he encounters new foes and mythical beings that test his strength as he battles against fate once again. Ne Zha is forced to confront his deepest fears and embrace his identity in order to protect the world from destruction. The film is set to build and even expand on the themes of the original: self-discovery, destiny, and heroism. Sounds pretty cool, actually. Over the past 2 decades, Chinese animated films have evolved from niche productions to major box office contenders, especially in Asia. While China has a long history of animation, it was none other than, and I'm not kidding, DreamWorks' Kung Fu Panda that played a crucial role in reinvigorating the industry.
Monkey.
Inspiring a new generation of Chinese filmmakers to push the boundaries of storytelling, animation quality, as well as cultural representation. This big, goofy panda served as a catalyst for the rise of Chinese animated movies, and is responsible for how the country's animation industry has grown into a powerhouse since then. When Kung Fu Panda was released in 2008, it was an instant global success, grossing over $630 million worldwide. Kung Fu Panda was a film that not only told an intriguing story, but also held a deep respect for Chinese culture. Unlike earlier Hollywood productions that often misrepresented or caricatured Chinese elements, Kung Fu Panda seamlessly integrated Chinese philosophy, martial arts, and aesthetics into its story. More importantly, Kung Fu Panda sparked an important conversation in China about the country's own animation industry. If a Hollywood studio like DreamWorks could create an internationally beloved film using Chinese themes, why couldn't China do the same? This realization prompted Chinese studios to invest more in homegrown animated productions that would resonate both locally and globally. Following Kung Fu Panda's success, China's animation industry began to experience rapid growth. Studios started focusing on improving animation quality, storytelling, and world building to compete with Hollywood's dominance. And these Chinese movies sure did deliver. Films such as Monkey King: Hero is Back, released back in 2015, were major turning points, proving that a Chinese animated feature could achieve commercial success, earning over $150 million at the box office. It demonstrated that Chinese audiences were eager for high-quality domestic productions based on Asian mythology. The following years continued the trend, as studios released features such as White Snake in 2019 and Yang Jia in 2020. These films continued the trend of adapting Chinese mythology into high-budget animated spectacles, further establishing China's distinct animation style and cementing its place in the animation industry. In 2019, the first Ne Zha film was released. It was a huge success and became the highest-grossing Chinese animated film of all time, earning over $700 million at the box office. Today, China's animation industry is a major force in global cinema. With government support, increased investment, and a growing pool of talented animators, Chinese studios are now able to produce films that can stand alongside Hollywood's best, or in the case of Ne Zha 2, even surpass them. More importantly, these films are not just meant for domestic audiences. They are crafted with international appeal in mind, much like Kung Fu Panda originally was. The rise of Chinese animated films shows how beneficial and lucrative supporting animation as a medium can be. While Hollywood often sees animated movies as nothing more than kids' entertainment, China's government chooses to actively boost these kind of productions, resulting in massive successes. Kung Fu Panda may have started as a Hollywood project, but it encouraged China to develop its own high-quality animated features. Today, the country has firmly established itself as a leader in the global animation industry. As technology and storytelling continue to evolve, the future of Chinese animation looks brighter than ever, with the potential to shape the industry on an even greater scale. Okay, but how was Ne Zha 2 able to be so successful and become the highest-grossing animated film of all time in less than a month? Well, there are several key factors behind the film's massive success. As a sequel to the first Ne Zha movie, the film capitalized on an established and deeply loyal fanbase that was eagerly anticipating the continuation of the character's story. And as we all know, sequels make a lot of money. Ne Zha 2 was also strategically released during the Lunar New Year, which is a peak movie-going period in China. Thus, this film was able to attract large audiences from the start, definitely contributing to its box office success. But not only that. One of the most fun parts of watching new releases of established IPs is comparing the visuals, and Ne Zha 2 showcases significant advancements in animation quality when compared to the first film. The even more intricate visuals and refined character designs have been met with a lot of positive feedback from fans. Another key factor in the sequel's success may be that Ne Zha 2 offers a rich storyline that delves even deeper into the characters' arcs, exploring themes of self-discovery and destiny. This leads to the film resonating with viewers on an emotional level. I do think that because the Ne Zha universe is rooted deep in Chinese mythology, the sequel has ignited a sense of national pride, with audiences celebrating a homegrown film that can not only compete with global blockbusters, but even surpass them. These elements combined may have propelled Ne Zha 2 to unprecedented success, making it a cultural phenomenon and a box office powerhouse. Yes, Western animated productions apply similar tactics as well, but it seems as though it was the perfect storm of all of these factors and how they were implemented that turned Ne Zha 2 into such a successful film. As Ne Zha 2 continues releasing internationally, the big question is, how high can it go? With its current momentum, this film has a strong chance of becoming one of the top 10 highest-grossing movies ever, not just animated ones. If it resonates with international audiences as well as it has in China, we may see it challenge even the biggest Hollywood animated hits in the global market as well. Who knows how big Ne Zha 2 could get? One thing is certain, Ne Zha 2 has already secured its place in movie history, proving that Chinese animation is a powerhouse in its own right. And whether you are a fan of animated media or not, Ne Zha 2 certainly is a film that cannot be ignored. What do you think about Ne Zha 2's massive success? Will it continue to break records internationally, or will Western moviegoers simply not be interested in such a film? Let me know in the comments. And that's all from me. Until next time, bye! Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth yapping about everything animated.